What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. This video, I gotta be honest, I've tried filming it a few times already because I have to be careful about how I word this. People know that on this channel, I've had issues with other YouTube channels before. I've had controversies with other YouTube channels before. I'm really trying my best to ensure that the content I put out these days is purely content, that there's no drama, that there's no more issues on this channel about other channels or picking fights with other channels. There's a big problem when it comes to Alberta Independence these days. A massive problem that I'm seeing more and more on YouTube. And the reason I have to bring this up today, the reason we're going to talk about some examples of some issues that I'm seeing on the internet today, is for the safety of the viewers out in the community, people who live in Alberta or who are abroad, maybe in the United States, because our channel has also been growing by its American viewers regularly that are interested in what's happening in Alberta. I don't want people getting the wrong information. Information is crucial, especially when we're dealing with what the Alberta Prosperity Project is undergoing, with what Danielle Smith is doing in the legislature. But there's a plethora of new channels or newer channels popping up, or some channels that have been around for a while that are now starting to gain their interests in this category. And I want to be very clear. I have promoted channels, I've promoted X accounts, I've always said we're on the same team. This has nothing to do with competitiveness, or people may feel that I'm saying these things out of some form of being jealous or worried about this channel. Nothing of that reigns true here. It's the content I'm worried about and the obligation that we have to uphold as people giving news on this platform, because people, whether you're across Canada, again, in the United States, or Albertans, people right now, especially when it comes to certain issues, when it comes to politics, are holding on to hope. Their lives have been torn apart. Their lives are difficult to lead. Some people have to decide whether they're going to put food in their fridge or turn on their lights. Some people have to tell their children that, you know, their mom and dad aren't eating meals because maybe they're just not feeling well or whatnot, when the reality is they can't afford to feed their whole families. People are holding on to the hopes that some form of a referendum, some form of a turn in the government, even in Canada, is possible, so that people see some shred of hope that their lives are going to get back to normal in some way, shape, or form. Jobs may open up, housing may become more affordable, gas prices might go down, food prices might go down. The big problem, people say, we'll get to the point, Fringe. A lot of people say that this channel uses clickbaity titles. I want to clear the air on that. Maybe I'll give a little bit of a lesson as to how YouTube works. Larger channels that exist on the platform that cover popular political videos, or whatever genre you're putting your videos out in, they have what's called SEO, or keywords. So when larger channels use words like "it's over" or "shocking new announcement" or "politician destroys another politician," the problem when videos like that get larger views is that it tells the YouTube algorithms that those keywords are what are getting people's interests. That's why on thumbnails you see what's called the O face, or people going in the thumbnail. This is an algorithm trigger that tells YouTube these are the kind of content videos you have to push out. The O face was made famous by larger YouTube personalities like Mr. Beast. It then transitioned into other niches. So channels like this one, channels like, you know what, I'm not even going to name other channels. I'm not going to bring them into this. But other channels that use this method to get their videos out there are just trying to ensure that viewers get the information. At least that's the prerogative on this channel. And while I will admit sometimes the sensationalism has gone over the line, the intentions are good. I can assure you that. Anytime I've tried to tone that down, videos just sit in limbo because they're not triggering YouTube to say it's time to push this information out. So I won't apologize for doing what I have to do to make sure you guys get the information that's necessary. What I will assure you is that if a time ever comes where it can be toned down, I will do so. And anytime I've made a video, I try to make sure that whatever is in the title, whatever is in the thumbnail, I discuss to some form of a degree, or it has a deeper meaning to the video. I definitely never want to make people think that I'm trying to deceive you or waste your time. That being said, I want to bring up this channel and a handful of others. Again, not to call them out, not to be negative about them or to say they should get off the platform, but there's a massive problem going on when it comes to people getting their information. This video happened to stumble on my news feed today. It says here, breaking the deal is done. As you go down, Canada furious after Alberta signs major new U.S. pipeline deal. Now, this video has 71,000 views at the time of filming this video within 9 hours. And again, I don't want people to think this is a jealousy thing. The problem with this is that while this video reigns true, that it isn't done by AI, that it's not being filmed under any kind of like clips channels, I guess you could say. Forgive me, folks. I'm really trying to find the best ways to word this so it doesn't come off as negative. The Canadian reporter here, as it's stated in this channel, makes some valid points in this 17-minute video. He shows multiple clips of Danielle Smith talking about the challenges that Alberta has had. He shows many clips talking about beneficial deals that Alberta could be making with the United States. So he does provide very good commentary. The problem with these kind of videos is it states down here that Alberta has signed a major new U.S. pipeline deal. We haven't signed anything. As soon as I seen this, I went looking for it saying, hey, we got to talk about that. How come my X feed isn't blowing up? How come I'm not getting my notifications from other sites that, hey, Danielle Smith just signed a deal? There is no deal. During this video, a deal is never discussed. The potential of a deal is discussed, or how Alberta would get to a deal is discussed. But those are topics, again, we've discussed on this channel many times like a broken record. There has been no signing of a deal. So the problem here, and this is just, again, a very small portion of the iceberg. But 70,000 people have watched this under the impressions, and if they're not getting all the information, I know some people, when they watch these videos on this channel, they don't watch, if I make a 15-minute video, they don't watch the whole 15 minutes. So if people are skipping through the video, they're getting all the tidbits about Danielle Smith, but they're not hearing anything about a new deal. They're under the impression that good things are coming to Alberta. That, hey, we've stuck it to Mark Carney. Now, I don't want this all to be on the Canadian Reporter because, again, I'm not calling this guy out. Please don't go over to his channel and yell at him or be mean or negative. I don't want to give bad press to anybody or say don't watch. You're free to pick whoever you want on the channel. I'm pointing this out again for people who have hope. It also leads to a bigger problem that I'll get to if you stick with me. Because again, as I say, this is just the lesser part of the problem. This video right here, Wexit Watch, was forwarded to me. I don't have a thumbnail because I've already saved the video from starting, but it says down here again, over 24 people sent me the link to this video at the time of filming this, saying, hey, Fringe, Danielle Smith just signed an Alberta pension deal. We're getting the Alberta pension plan. Big September update for old age security and Canada pension plan. Nothing has been signed. I searched high and low, thinking, wait, Danielle did this? You think Global TV or CTV or any of the hate-monger mainstream shill prostitutes would be reporting on this? Nothing. Nothing. And this video goes on to give the illusion that a deal is in the works, that Danielle has put some form of a contract forward, that, hey, we're moving forward with an Alberta pension plan. Now, while again, Danielle has spent the summer going around with Alberta Next panels. She's been petitioning to hear what people have to say. and get Albertans' feedback on whether or not they feel this would be beneficial. Again, not saying this channel's the be-all, end-all, but we've discussed it on this channel. We've discussed it in live streams. Most Albertans favor and see the benefits of an Alberta pension deal. But the biggest problem with this video, while it only has 2,100 views, 2,000 people have still watched this video, and a lot of people who don't understand technology are missing one important thing. Let me show you what this is.
Canadians, especially here in Alberta. Danielle Smith has officially signed a new pension framework deal, and it's sending shockwaves through the financial and political landscape. This isn't just about Alberta leaving the Canada pension plan anymore. It's about real, tangible changes that could impact your CPP contributions.
Did you guys notice it? If you didn't, let me restart it. Let me restart the story here for you. Watch the mouth movements and listen to the tones shifting or lack of tones shifting in the voice. The eyes blinking, all of it. Watch the face. Listen to the voice. Here we go. Let's do it again.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got a breaking story that could reshape retirement for hundreds of thousands of Canadians, especially here in Alberta. Danielle Smith has officially signed a new pension framework deal, and it's sending shockwaves through the financial and political landscape.
This is AI generated. So many people might think this is another up-and-coming Jasmine Lane or somebody else coming into the industry. Again, the channel's got 157 subscribers. The reason I'm bringing up this channel is these channels are a dime a dozen right now. And they're popping up everywhere with these fake AI-generated hosts. Now, luckily, YouTube has said there's no monetization to AI content. So they're trying to weed that stuff out. But you can see when you watch the mouth on the video, certain pronunciations of words like Danielle Smith don't match the movement of the mouth. The voice stays on the same tone line. There's no breaks on sentences. If you didn't know what AI looks like, this is AI. It's, again, the biggest problem here is it's an AI-generated video for clickbaits saying that Danielle Smith has signed an Alberta pension deal. No, she hasn't. This is fake news. And again, the problem when you go into the comments, I love Danielle Smith. Alberta Independence is our only solution to Eastern oppression. I've chimed in. Danielle Smith has signed nothing. This is fake AI garbage. I'm 63, third-gen Albertan. Alberta must have its own pension plan. I've lived through the National Energy Program. I've lived in the Ottawa Valley for 3 years, and when I served in Canada's military, my fellow Albertans, the Easterners hate Albertans, 80 to 90%. He goes on to talk about his lifestyle, his experiences. A 63-year-old man, I'm assuming, who believes that what he's watching is genuine. Another person saying the pension is very safe. I currently collect a pension and have no worries about an Alberta pension plan. I hope this is legitimate. I'll vote for Alberta pension plan. That's the problem I'm going to get to. Again, I know the video's trailing on. We go back to the Canadian Reporter. Western provinces just made a massive Wexit announcement that shocks Canada. This video again popped up on my feed with people saying, hey, Fringe, apparently Danielle Smith's getting ready to bust away. They're going to make waves. They're going to everything else. This ruins the integrity of the movement within Alberta sovereignty. It's going to push people away with their interest. We're already seeing it on great channels like PJ the Belt. And I know some people have pointed out, hey, the titles can get a certain way sometimes. Again, the problem is PJ the Belt focuses on Alberta independence. And much like I explained at the beginning of the video, and I've spoken to PJ in person. He's a very genuine human being. The problem that he stated is the same problem that I mentioned earlier. Larger channels that cover this kind of content have used certain words that trigger the algorithm to say this is what you have to do if you want to get the news out, if people want to see the content. You've got this channel, Canada's Zone. Now, this channel either deleted a ton of its videos or it's just starting out and has a surprising 48,000 subscribers. But another video, 31,000 views in a day. So 30,000 people are listening to this. Breaking: Alberta Western Province's major new Wexit announcement shocks Canada. There was no Wexit announcement. There was no drop of Alberta Independence. And the video goes on, and this one is not AI. This one is
proof that Ottawa will not stop.
An actual host who sits around doing the same thing as a Canadian reporter, and he talks about a bunch of, and again, good talking points. I'm not going to slam the channels or say that it's garbage material. They have good talking points, but gentlemen, if you're going to be talking to people who are looking for change, people who are fed up, people who just can't hang on anymore, I understand how the algorithms work. I understand how YouTube works. We've explained it twice in this video. We have an obligation to do the best we can to report facts to people, to not dangle that carrot on the stick too much. If you're going to sensationalize your titles, find a level of doing it that doesn't deceive your audience. Because again, if you go into the comments, Ottawa won't change, Western Canada needs to leave or you'll regret it forever, BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Yukon needs to become the United Provinces of America. Just do it and exit. Go Alberta. Thanks for voting Liberal against Eastern Canada, or against Eastern Canada. No more money from Alberta. Would love to see Western provinces join the U.S., but either way, I hope you get your freedom you deserve. Alberta's referendum is a bullet in the chamber. Ottawa is the target. Like, people are buying in to the titles of these videos. They believe that these announcements are coming. And again, when I'm saying that much like this video, I'm sure people have glossed over certain parts of it. They've skipped ahead or skipped back. It's typical for YouTube. I do the same thing when I'm watching videos. Now, while some people may think, hey, Fringe, you're being a bit of a hypocrite, you're guilty of the same thing. As I've explained twice in the video, there is a line that you have to tread on this platform. There is a certain way you have to dress up your videos. There's a certain way you have to do things in order to ensure that your community and your audience gets it. If you would like a deeper example, many people have their bells turned on this channel. When I put out a brand new video and I see that it has maybe 6,000 views in an hour, I look at the analytics for that video, and it tells me that only about 130 people have been notified out of thousands who have their bells turned on. I have people in the comment sections, and you guys can go and check them anytime you like. Scroll down. You'll see people saying, I'm unable to like your videos. YouTube has stopped me from liking the videos. I can't hit the subscribe button, or I've been unsubscribed multiple times this week from your channel. There's either a massive problem where YouTube does not want certain news getting out, or there's a problem with their system that is actively stopping people from liking videos, unsubscribing people at random if it thinks they're bots. There are explanations for some of these things, folks. I don't want to put on the tinfoil hat and make people think that it's all negative. But the problem here, folks, is that when you look at Alberta Prosperity Project, when you look at Alberta Independence, if more of these AI channels and those who want to discredit the movement for cheap clicks keep bringing out these videos saying that things have happened, announcements have been made, deals have been done, and nothing has happened, you're going to destroy a prominent movement in the province. People are going to get fatigued with it. They're going to stop paying attention to actual news once the APP is able to get their signatures, once rallies are being held, once the AGM is going to go on and people are told, hey, we're all going to try and go and have a little bit of influence as to where the province goes. Real information that matters will be pushed to the wayside because people will be sick of being deceived. If you really care about Alberta independence, if you care about the integrity of not being like the mainstream news, we all, including this channel, could do better by changing the way we run our algorithms so that channels don't have to get sensationalized with their titles. We could all be honest with our titles in order to get people to watch more, and then the algorithm would favor actual news instead of sensationalized "it's over" titles. The biggest problem, besides discrediting the movement or waning out and exhausting a movement, because we're already starting to see it when it comes to Alberta independence. You're giving false hope to people who are desperate. It's no longer a clickbait video to get people to buy a product. It's not a clickbait video to sell a sponsor or anything like that. You're making a clickbait video against people, some who are at the very end thread of their rope. I sincerely hope, and I use the word sincerely, it's a joke word. These channels find a new way to do things. Again, I try to do my best, folks, but I certainly will never put out titles like that. I certainly will never try to oversell something that hasn't happened. The AI stuff has to go. The AI stuff making fake stories that Danielle is signing things, those have to go. Please be very careful of what you're consuming online. Always check your facts, folks. Always check credible sources. If you see something on YouTube, even if you see it on this channel, and I try to bring receipts whenever we're talking about things, go on to Google if you use Google, go on to DuckDuckGo, whoever your search engine is, and search what's being discussed. Look into what's being talked about. Get some research, even if it comes from mainstream media. You'll notice on this channel, as I dip this video even longer, that sometimes I'll pull up mainstream media stories when we're covering these things. The reason is to show that these facts are out there, even when they're twisted by mainstream outlets. The more information we have, the more powerful our vote is going to be when we go to decide on things like Alberta Independence or the next leader of our country. The more we're educated in how our politics work, who's behind scandals, how things are run, announcements that are made, conflicts of interest, money being wasted, NGOs, you name it. The more information we have, the more power we have with our voice and the direction we want to head as a country. Let me know what you guys think down below. Again, I want to iterate that nothing of what I put out is to attack any of these channels except the AI ones. I will happily attack AI content, but none of these actual hosts like Canadian Zone, Canadian Reporter, I don't want to dump all over their channels or say don't watch them. Just, guys, if you're watching this video, if you've been tagged in this video, just pick it up a bit. Try and find a better way to do it. Work with other YouTubers. We'll try and promote you guys. We'll try and get you out there. We'll try and give you a hand. As I've said before, we're all in this together. Let me know what you guys think down below. If it's your first time here, I hope this video's earned your subscription. If it hasn't, that's okay, because it is a video talking about other channels. But if it has, hit that button, leave a thumbs up or a comment down below. Again, it helps push the video out in the YouTube algorithm. Past censorship. Make sure to join me twice live on the channel, Wednesdays and Fridays for Unhinged Fringe Wednesdays, Friday Night Fringe on Fridays. As we talk about politics, we hang out with you guys, we talk about memes. I'm joined by the beautiful Mrs. Fringe. A whole lot of fun times. It all goes down every week, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, every Wednesday and Friday here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this very long video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.